Hello guys, welcome to our Go and Play YouTube channel. You are watching Czech Darts Open second day of score and commentary. I'll be talking about the preview, so please make sure to subscribe and thank you so much for watching. Let me talk about the preview for you. Preview Saturday afternoon, Czech Darts Open, Wright and Johnny Clayton headline lineup. Bro, from Friday September 5 to Sunday September 7, the Czech Darts Open 2025 in Prague is scheduled. This is the 11th tournament on the PDC European Tour. On Saturday afternoon, 4 Dutch players will be in action. 4 Dutch players will be in action, bro. After the Flanders Darts Trophy last week, the Czech Darts Open is the next event in a series of Euro Tour tournaments leading up to the European Darts Championship. At the end of October, the 32 best players on the European Tour qualify for the final tournament. So, the coming weeks will decide who will see back in the Westfalen in Dortmund at the end of next month. Some familiar names such as German Watamina, Michael Smith and Raymond Fernandez is currently the 32nd place and will have to work hard in the coming tournaments to qualify. Luke Humphreys starts the tournaments as the defending champion. Cool hand Luke was so strong in last year's final with an 8-1 win over surprise finalist Kim Huybrechts. Saturday afternoon, the fast matches from the second round are scheduled in Prague. Below you can read which players will appear at the the fast quarterfinal. Ross Smith vs Andrew Gilding. The afternoon session at the PBA Expo will kick off with a duel between Ross Smith and Andrew Gilding. Smith starts this tournament as the 12th series leader. Smager has already won a Players' Championship this year, but his performance in recent weeks has been particularly shaky. The 22 European Championship winner is also still awaiting for a fast bottle win on the European Tour. At the Czech Darts Open, Smith should try to get past Gilding in his fast assignment. Goldfinger defeated Darius Lebanuska in his coming match with the smallest difference. Let me drink some water. Then the second match, Martin Sindler versus Matras Rajma. Next up, Martin Sindler, the 29-year-old German, on this year's Austrian Darts Open and has climbed to 7th place in the world rankings. On paper, Sindler should have few problems with Matras Rajma. Still, he will certainly not underestimate the experienced Latvian. Rajma can be pretty good on a good day. Moreover, he has nothing to lose this weekend. Rajma was actually not even qualified for the Czech Darts Open, but due to withdrawal of Gary Anderson, he was allowed to travel to Prague. With Damon, Heta and Vasil Nijman, two players with heavy scoring power, face each other. The 9th seeded Heta, this year already good for 2 titles at the Players' Championship, starts this match slightly favored given his status, but normally Nijman is hardly inferior to him. The 25-year-old Dutchman has already reached the semi-final several times this year on the European Tour and is yearning to reach a final. Who knows, maybe already this weekend. Oh no, Turkey is bro. And Chris Dobey versus German Watamina, the third match. German Watamina defeated Brendan Dolan 6-4 in the opening round and now faces 6th seed Chris Dobey. Watamina is having a good year anyway, as he recently won the 23rd Players' Championship, the first PDC ranking title of the career. Still, Watamina starts his match against Dobey as an underdog. Hollywood already won 2 Players' Championship this year and also competed in the Premier League Darts. Scoring wise, Watamina should normally be able to keep up with his opponent, but throwing the doubles at a high percentage becomes hugely important for victory. Danny Noppert versus Jan van Veen. Danny Noppert, seeded 15th this weekend, reached the quarterfinal at the Flanders Darts Trophy just last weekend. The always regular Noppert is a paragon of stability and rarely drops below the line. Jan van Veen knows he will have to play his best to beat his competitor. For Van Veen is already the second all-Dutch match in a row as he defeated Mac Duijvenbode 6-3 in the opening round. Van Veen had a hesitant start in the match but later rectified this with impressive play. The 23-year-old Pietreczko clocked up an average of 103.70. If he reaches that level again in the afternoon, Noppert faces a tough task. This will gonna be blockbuster, bro. Dave Chisnall. The next Dave Chisnall versus Ryan Searles. Dave Chisnall will take on Ryan Searles. Chizzy is definitely not having the best year. Last week he went down as defending champion in the morning round of the Flanders Darts Trophy. Chisnall is still dry this year in terms of titles, and that's not out of his habit. Can he get his bag straight this weekend? If so, we will have to get past Searles in the first place. Heavy metal was too strong for Philip Manak in the opening round 6-2. Searles did not really impress, but that enough to win easily. However, it can be expected that he will have to raise his level a bit against Chisnall. Peter Wright versus Benjamin Pietreczko in the penultimate match in the last of the afternoon session. Peter Wright is on the lookout. Snakebite is having better year and fell in the opening round of the Flanders Darts Trophy last week with an average of less than 75. It is 5-12 for the 55 years old Scot, who is starting to drop further and further down the world rankings. Wright desperately needs another good performance, which is why we're still looking forward to his match against Benjamin Pietreczko. Which Wright will we get to see? Pietreczko is someone who has been around quite some time but is mainly active in the WDF. The PDC he is not made much impressive. Player details: Peter Wright, total earnings 6 million. What are made 15, 903. Highest average 125.53. Highest TB average 119.1. And the match, Johnny Clayton versus Ryan Joyce. The afternoon session will be closed by Johnny Clayton and Ryan Joyce at 51. Clayton still belongs to the top of the world, as he proved earlier this year by reaching the final of the World Darts Master at the semi-finalists at the UK Open. The fairest also triumphed the Dutch Darts Championship and also won a Players Championship. Still, the 10th series head will be wary of Joyce. The 40-year-old Englishman is not a frequent winner. He won a Players Championship twice in his career, but he has beaten every top player on several occasions. So Joyce is someone who is not afraid of the best players in the world. Could give Clayton a tough time. Johnny Clayton. So the afternoon session, Pietreczko. Oh, that's already gone. Today, Duijvenbode. No, that's already gone. Saturday afternoon session, Ross Smith versus Gilding. Oh, that's also. Luke Leader will play in the night, in the evening session, bro. So please make sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.